Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Also, don't forget to check out my website, waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us. So today, I have a video for you about what's my warmer style. There are so many wonderful warmers displayed behind me. Some of these are retired and some of them are current, and each one speaks to me of a different design style. So starting over here, I have the pressed tin, which to me is a very classic farmhouse warmer. It has those rustic elements of vintage, which it has the pressed tin pattern on the outside. It is a big chunky square, which also speaks to me of farmhouse, and it has a distressed finish and it is neutral. Next over we have the gilded, and that one to me speaks of glam. It has all of the metallics, it has that mirrored finish, it is tall and slender and elegant and very glitzy. The next one over is the lit from within, and this one speaks to me very much of traditional style. It has a black base, it's entirely white, and it is a white smooth porcelain finish. It also would work well in a modern space, and that's where we go next. Above my head is the alabaster, which is currently in the catalog, and that one is one of my favorite ultra modern warmers. It's sleek, clean lines, and just a wonderful geometric pattern, and it's all white. Over on the other side, we have the sweetgrass basket, which is retired. My kids affectionately call that the snake basket, and that is a coastal warmer. It's made to look like a beautiful sweetgrass basket that's actually handcrafted in the Carolina lowlands, I believe. Then the next one over is the Happy Habitat, and this warmer very much speaks to me of this newer style called cottage core, which is very much about nature, it's about flowers, it's about handcraftedness, it's about antique, and it's about old-fashioned, all with the new spin. And that Happy Habitat was a last spring special kind of a warmer, but you can get the mini Lavender Love that matches it now in the catalog. And last but not least, over on the other side, we have the Rock Quarry, and that one screams boho to me. It is very earthy, it is very graphic, and it's a beautiful, wonderful warmer for that earthy bohemian style. So what are these styles? Well, that's what we're going to find out in more in-depth videos throughout the month of April, where I'm going to take these, set them up with other accessories that go with the style, and give you a more in-depth understanding of each. But today, I wanted to speak to each of you as an individual. How do you even start deciding what your style is, what your home should look like, what kind of warmers you want to pick, and things that I have learned over the year about something called color theory really help me. If you notice, I almost always use my green background here, or I have a warm neutral background with my paint in my dining room. I personally love muted, earthy, warm tone colors, and you can break color families into warm and cool. So you can either have cool tone things that go with silver, or you can have warm tone things that go with gold. And then the other distinction is clear and soft, or warm and deep and muted. So I have used my Scentsy bars here to show you the difference. These three bars are warm and clear and gentle. So in the world of color theory, when you come to personal color, there's spring, summer, autumn, and winter. These would be spring. Warm, gentle, goes with gold. Usually you think of all your spring daffodils and your, happy clouds, and like our Chase Rainbows collection right now is totally spot on for spring colors. Then next you would have cool, soft, light colors like these, and then you would think of summer. So then that would be paired with your cool tones here, but it would be soft. It wouldn't be super contrasting. It wouldn't be super deep. Next, you would think of the next season in our beautiful 4 seasons, and that would be autumn. This would be deep and murky and dusty and rich. So here is a beautiful example of autumn colors that go together. I love this. This is like bronze and copper and deep and super rich and very earthy. And then last but not least would be your cool deep, your cool deep tones, your jewel tones, your really deep but cool earthy tones like these. And those again would be better harmonized with silver. So do you like spring colors? Do you like summer colors? Do you like fall colors? Do you like winter colors? For me, it's really easy because I have warm chestnut brown hair and I have soft hazel eyes and very porcelain but warm skin. So I've always loved fall. My favorite color in the whole wide world is that olive green that you see painted behind me. I love warm wood. I love gold. I love bronze. I love leaves. I love pumpkins. I love spice. It just all kind of goes together. So your personal coloring doesn't necessarily dictate your style, but it's a great place to start. So of all the warmers behind me, the Gilded and the Rock Quarry probably speak the most to me personally because they're warm and they're rich, but I appreciate all the styles. But my daughters, they're one of them has much softer coloring. So the warmer up here, the Lavender Love, no, this is the Happy Herbitat. She likes warm but much softer colors than I do. And then my other daughter really likes contrasting bold colors. So this one would probably speak to her the most. And that is just an absolute baseline. Warm versus cool is very important in your home when you're trying to put together a whole color palette. In my house, I have lots of dusty, muted, warm colors. Now, I do like white warmers because those are neutral and they go with everything. But if I was going to pick room specific, I would definitely be going for things like this more than things like this to harmonize with my space. So then, what style do you like? I ticked off farmhouse and glam and traditional and modern and coastal and cottagecore and bohemian. Well, what those are what we are going to get into in greater depth in those little mini videos. But the basics would be farmhouse is speaking to that American simple spirit where you're talking about a little bit of vintage but always very practical, nothing too flashy. Modern farmhouse loves to incorporate neutrals of different varying shades of white and then black and wood as an accent, and it's just fantastic. It's a very, very relaxed style, but it is also very warm and welcoming. Then we move over to the Gilded warmer. Now there are so many ways to go glam. Really the best warmer I could think of that screams glam would be the Diamond Crush, but I do not own that because I don't love silver. I have a little bit of silver and it just wouldn't go anywhere in my house. But when you have glam style, you're talking about usually high contrast of colors like your jewel tones and your whites and your blacks, and then heavy metallic accents and lots of things that are just glamorous and reflective. And let's move over to the traditional warmer, which is the Lit from Within. That traditional is what you think it is. It's everything that's middle of the road and very classic, will be in style today, will be in style tomorrow, and was in style yesteryear. Now above my head, I have one that I think speaks the most to modern. And I love mid-mod. Honestly, that is my favorite style. It's just not totally achievable in my own home. But that usually deals with warm woods, beautiful simple lines, a lot of handcrafted. You think Frank Lloyd Wright, perfect mid-century modern. Certain elements of graphic design and also nature all combined in a very amazing way. It's totally my favorite style. Then let's move over to coastal. Coastal, you think of the beach, but you think of it in a very relaxed way. Lots of linen, lots of seagrass, lots of woven things, lots of stuff where you just want to sit and relax with the soft colors on the walls and, beautiful blues. And I always transform this front room like every few months with a different style because I'm kind of schizophrenic that way. But I always pull out my Sweetgrass basket warmer to make it feel like I could be going to the beach out here in this front room. And then we move over to cottagecore, which is kind of the hardest one for me to wrap my mind around because it's a newer style. But basically, if you take everything that you found in Grandma's attic and you update it a little bit and relax it some, you have lots of florals, you have lots of patterns, a lot of English style or French country style, that's kind of incorporated into that cottagecore, but it has to connect you to yesteryear and the outdoors in an updated way, and I think that Happy Herbitat does that perfectly. Then the last one that I have over here is the Rock Quarry warmer, and to me bohemian style is so much fun. If it's natural, if it has plants, not necessarily flowers but more just plants, lots and lots and lots of green plants, macrame, and your rattan, and a lot of velvet upholstery, but in a very irreverent way. Whereas if you go back to traditional style, you have your beautiful velvet sofa, but it's going to have perfect pillows, or it's going to be a Chesterfield. Go over to boho and add a little bit of rock and roll, add a little bit of extra attitude and a global influence, which is why I picked the Rock Quarry warmer. So those are just basics. So I've got some accessories here on the table to show you. So this happens to be, I don't know if we still sell this one of the cord concealing stands that we've had with Scentsy for a long time. Now, what would I pair this with? If it was a round warmer, I would totally put this with the pressed tin. It doesn't really fit as far as the shape, but this is very much a farmhouse or an industrial style base, and it is definitely cool toned. So then one that is definitely retired is one of our older, just very simple core concealing stands, but this one speaks to me of either like modern or bohemian. Then this one, this is just one of my favorites because I love the color. This one to me would go very, very well with either traditional style or possibly even your boho, because it's got these really cool little patterned designs on here that speaks to me of both of those. Now I have this adorable little clock. This guy could either be very modern or very traditional, or even farmhouse, because it is just simple and understated and elegant, and the wood goes with just about anything. Now here's an accessory that definitely makes me think farmhouse, or maybe even cottagecore, because it's a little bit wonky and handcrafted looking. And then I wonder if you guys can guess this one. This screams boho. This is irreverent. This is the right color palette. This is wonky, and it has, well, this is a fake plant, but it has a plant in it, and it's just got that wonderful warm earthiness that goes with bohemian style. Now here is one that would either be good for traditional or glam, because it has a highly reflective surface and it's a very, very, staid kind of an object. Being an hourglass, these have been around for forever, but because of the particular finish on this, you could also make this into a glam accessory. Right, another one that I love, my sister-in-law calls these the snaky beads, and she does not know what to do with them. This particular set could either be very modern, it could be farmhouse, or I think you could even do this coastal or bohemian, but it's got these great, I just bought this, great natural element ends to it, and you just dribble these around your plant or, around your warmer or over a book. It's so much fun. Now, here's one that could either go coastal or farmhouse because it's incredibly rustic, and it's just, this is really cool. I got this at a farmhouse store in town, and well, you've seen this in my videos. I stick this up against something. And another thing that's just a style, like a rule, is things look great in threes. You can do pairs, but odd numbers, especially a grouping of 3 in a visual triangle, fantastic. So then, what else do I have here? Ooh, a couple different types of plants. So when you're talking about modern style, you're talking about clean lines. See how this goes well with the modern warmer, or it actually would go reasonably well with the traditional, but it's better with the modern, and you could probably even use this with boho because it's kind of graphic. Then this plant's a little bit more understated. It's not quite as much of an attitude or a statement. So this one would go well with traditional. It would go well with coastal. It would go well with cottagecore. And I think that that's everything that is on my table. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. There are so many things to talk about when it comes to design, and I apologize if this was not as clear as possible. There's so much information in my brain. So let's just go back to the basics. Picking a warmer. First off, you want to decide, what does my home look like and who am I? What is my style personality? And if you're not sure where to start, take a cue from your God-given coloring. What is it that when I look in the mirror, I look like? So if you have high contrast with like dark eyes and dark hair, it's possible that you'll like more dramatic styles. Not necessarily, but it's possible. I love earthy and warm, which happens to go with my coloring. People who may have very light coloring and blonde hair and blue eyes, you might prefer something soft like coastal, but who knows? Maybe you're a glam girl. And then there are people who just love their bright primary colors and everything that reminds them of springtime. And so for you, maybe you would like something that's more floral or more romantic. So those are just thoughts, and we will be exploring and breaking these down, where I'm going to do like a scene with the warmers that I own and some bars that I think go with the style, and we'll have these little mini videos of today we're going to do glam and farmhouse, or today we're going to do bohemian cottagecore and cottagecore, not together, and that will all be happening hopefully in the month of April. And I hope that you guys have a great day. Flip through the catalog and start thinking, what is my style? How do I pick a warmer that is both my personality and complements my home? And then you start to draw all those things together. Now I'll tell you a really funny story about this poor front room of mine. When we moved in here and we got to paint and redo things, I fell in love with this deep rust color that's on the couch that's now in my back room, and it's also on my hutch in the dining room if you've seen videos with any of those in it. And I found a paint sample from Martha Stewart called Monarch, and I fell in love with it. It was the exact same color as my leather couch that was from IKEA, because I do love modern lines, even though now we're more farmhouse as a family. I love my modern lines. And I had the big orange couch up against the window, and then this wall and the wall over here were painted this awesome burnt orange, and the rest of the walls were like a really rich marzipan colored, and it balanced beautifully. Well, one day my husband came home, and for whatever reason, I really don't know what was up, he was so done with the orange. He's like, we have to repaint this. I can't take it anymore. I don't like this. And I was so brokenhearted, because I'm like, but it's earthy and it's wonderful and I'm so happy. And he's like, no, I'm done. So he got to pick the next paint color, which is not what you see behind you. For 3 years, this front room was bright, screaming yellow. Oh, it was awful. Just about every day I cried. So then eventually we repainted this wall a different green than what you see today. And it kind of helped with the color distribution, but I kept telling him, I can't deal with this. You like bright yellow. I cannot stand it. I'm not happy in this room. I'm not happy in this house. So eventually he decided, well, the wife should probably get what she wants. So I single-handedly repainted our entire house, the basement, the bathrooms, the everything, from the start of COVID until just about the time that I started making videos last year. The last room that got repainted was the bathroom, and that was just recently. And everything is now soft neutrals of ivories and greens and watery colors and tans and taupes and soft warm grays, because I could not take some of these bright colors that we picked in the meantime trying to appease other family members. So I don't really have a moral to the story, except that when mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, and you need a color story in your home. So try, again, like I said, to look at color groupings. Warm and soft or cool and soft. Warm, deep, and rich or cool, deep, and rich. Cool goes with silver, warm goes with gold. But rustier, deeper colors are better with something like a copper or a rusty bronze or a dirty gold, whereas your warm, soft colors are better with a clear gold. Then you have your soft, summery colors, which are going to be cool and romantic and gentle, and those are good with silvers. And then you've got your really deep, rich jewel tones and your black and your white, and those are fantastic also with silver or like a really deep, dirty pewter. That's amazing. So just some baseline ideas. Take a look at your space, see what you need, see what speaks to you, and then finishes are very, very important to bring a style together. So as I went through just basics here, let's say I wanted to do a room in the farmhouse style, and I'm starting with nothing. So a really nice woven natural rug, but simple, not a lot of pattern. A lot of white. You can use your shiplap still. That's kind of going out of style at the moment, but it's very farmhouse. Some black accents to bring in pops of drama, but not too much. Industrial lighting, like simple lighting, simple things that speak of farmhouse, but also speak of like a cutting edge modern extra little bit to make it really pop. And then lots of wonderful, simple, but warm wood. It brings all that together. And then layered finishes that are all tone on tone and gentle, and simple, purposeful objects that usually would have an actual purpose, not just laying around for clutter. That's the embodiment of basic modern farmhouse style these days. And we'll just go on and on and on with each of these styles. And you can look in your Scentsy catalog and decide, that's the warmer that I want, and this is the project that I have. Marry them. Don't waste your money. Put your own personality in there. You are going to love your home, and you're going to love your Scentsy warmer. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.